Hey everybody, welcome back, Patrick. It's your girl, PJamma with PJammaLyfe. But first, we welcome back the guru, the encyclopedia of all things Tolkien.
Yeah.
Patrick,
Yep.
say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Glad to be back. Ready to talk about this. I've got lots to say.
Oh boy, he's been saving it up for 2 weeks. So here we go. And the maestro of all things Star Wars, he says a symphony of everything about that series. David, say hey to the people.
Hello, everybody. Tonight is a day that will be long remembered. So sit back, join us. Looking forward to talking with you all tonight about some fun shows and some not fun shows.
Oh no! Uh-oh, here we go. Well, it's here. Let our guru of all things Star Wars introduce. What, David?
Produced in 2018, finally out for us to see, Andor, Diego Luna. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic.
Here we
Want to see a
go.
clip?
Have you been with us before?
First time.
But who knows? Who have we told?
I don't know.
We have always said Fest. Every doc I've ever submitted has always said you were born on Fest. Have you ever said anything other than Fest?
You want to go today and have me keep my mouth shut? 7's my floor.
Well, it was a not one, not two, but a 3 episode drop. So, of course, we have to let our super fan David talk about what he thought of the new Andor.
Since I had a chance to first see it Thursday afternoon, it's just been on a constant loop, all 3 episodes. For me, I
Poor wife.
absolutely thought this was virtually perfection. I
Oh.
thought this was absolutely incredible for me. I loved it. The grittiness of it, there. Did we see a Sith? No. Did we hear someone say, "May the Force be with you"? No. Did someone say, "I've got a bad feeling about this"?
Oh.
No. Didn't hear one of those kind of things that we so see and hear with Star Wars. This is the Star Wars that really embraces what Brian Daley, who wrote the first of the expanded universe post Star Wars, did. And it's that world. It's seeing things in the larger universe. I thought it was a fantastic start. And again, you could maybe quibble. I might have liked to have seen a Rodian or something else a little bit more, but I love seeing this subset, these kind of allies of the Empire being fascists. It's good to see. It's a really important to note what fascists look like in this world. You might run into some every now and again. So it's good to see this group. I loved every bit of this. This was, to me, fantastic. And I can't wait to hear what my esteemed colleagues and friends think about this new Disney show. In my mind, the best Disney show since The Mandalorian.
Oh, wow. All right, Patrick. Tell us what you think.
Well, I got to tell you, the things that I loved about Star Wars were missing. There were no lightsabers. There were no Jedi. There was no Force. The things I love. So this was a nice science fiction cop drama. It felt like Blade Runner, but without the coolness of Blade Runner. It was, I mean, it had that kind of neo-noir feel to it.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it had, like I said, it felt like, it didn't feel like Star Wars. It didn't feel like Star Wars because there was none of the Star Wars things. You know, the great struggle of good and evil. You had this kind of just a pedestrian cop show or a you know, a smuggler show or whatever. You know, it could have been NCIS in space. You know, it wasn't bad. I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but it did not hit. It did not hit the things that I wanted to see. So maybe
that's not the show you wanted to see. That's not the show you wanted to see.
Babe, we need a ding ding because here it comes.
Not at all. I love hearing different opinions. I have great respect for Patrick. I think it's a very valid statement. I mean, if you were wanting X and it's not there, you're going to say that. It did remind me, you know, this is a world that Firefly could have easily.
It could have been. That was the other series that made me think it was Firefly because, you know, but the characters weren't as entertaining as the Firefly characters. So I
would agree with that. I would agree with that.
I'll take that Pepsi challenge. You know, I ain't got no problem defending that position because it was not as the characters themselves. They may get there, but they weren't there yet. I mean, you know, the thing is, Firefly came out of the gate so strong with such vividly painted characters, and they were all very quirky and engaging, even in their horribleness. Yes. You know, so I mean, it was good. It just wasn't what I was expecting from a Star Wars property.
Yeah.
So it was a little disappointing to me in that facet.
Ooh, gotcha. Okay.
Ooh. Oh, I know you just hurt David's heart. I think I heard
it all. You're just trying to stoke the fire. What do you want this to be, like Fox News, where they go at each other? Come on, man.
Oh my goodness. Well, I have to say, at first I was like, it's not hitting me yet. And then, of course, who makes it great? Fiona Shaw. When she pops up in anything, I'm with it all the way. She was, what's his name? Dudley's mom in Harry Potter. She was killing Eve. She was the main spy lady. She's just a fantastic actress. So her little bitty role, she made it 100%. And the great Stellan Skarsgård, you know, when he pops up in something, you just know it's just he's lending something special. So now he's in all of Disney Plus. He's in Marvel. He's in Star Wars. He's probably going to be in something else that they have. He'll be in one of their live action shows, I'm sure. He's just fantastic. So when you have a couple of actors like that, they just elevate everything. So Diego Luna, I see he got that EP credit, and the creator, I think he is part of the creative team, and executive producer, writer, director is Tony Gilroy, who I believe did the Jason Bourne movies.
He did, and he also did, Pam, when we did last year, we made a listing of our favorite movies. And one of my top 3 movies, if you all might remember, was Michael Clayton, which Tony Gilroy did. It's a great episode for our viewers, and I know we've got a larger new group of folks. You all want to try and find that. It's the one where I'm wearing a red shirt, so it'll be easy to find.
Oh, Lord.
Michael Clayton.
With the first 100 episodes he was wearing.
Pretty much. Pretty much. But that's it again, speaks to something that I love. I love Michael Clayton.
Yeah.
And to me, again, that for me, perfect filmmaking, I'm seeing that here. So anyway.
Yeah, he's incredible. So by the 3rd episode, I think it picked up more into a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
That, you know, you can appreciate and you can like really get into. So it kind of took a little long to get to it, but by the third one, now I'm invested. Now I want to see it. Now let's go Andor. So I think it's a little mixed review, but it's definitely something the whole family can watch. So if you want something for the whole family and you're into science fiction and Star Wars, this is something they can watch. And it's but go back and look at Rogue One. So that you can learn the characters again. I needed to get a refresh on the characters. It's been a while since that came out, so definitely check it out. So I think this is something everybody's going to check out. So join our voices with check out Andor. Okay? And next we have Just Jen in the wedding episode. Let's check out She-Hulk.
So why are you a bridesmaid?
Because I think she just felt obligated to ask me. And I felt obligated to say yes, because how do you say no to being a bridesmaid?
Hey, Jen. So good to see you. I love that you never make any effort at all.
What are you doing here? This is my friend's very real wedding.
Josh!
Oh my
I
gosh.
thought Lulu had eaten you.
Oh no, I'm here. This is the most fun I've seen you have all weekend. Or Wednesday and Thursday.
Josh.
All right. So our Super Marvel fan, won't you give us the uptick on this Just Jen episode?
Well, I mean, all these are incredibly lighthearted, and I do enjoy that. I mean, it's definitely not your typical Marvel fare where it's world-ending catastrophes narrowly averted by superhero X or Y or Team Z or whatever. I mean, it's fun. It's a lark. It really is. It's just it's not obviously designed to be really, but there are some things that they're kind of hinting at throughout this, and they have every episode has had some branches that I suspect will grow and bear fruit at one time. You know, like
We better get to it though.
Well, I mean, it's starting. You know, I mean, the thing is, we had those guys attack her back in episode 3 or whatever when they tried, you know, the wrecking crew. Well, you kind of hint at that again at the end of this one with the group. I suspect we're heading towards the leader, which was a big Hulk villain throughout the comics, who is whereas the Abomination and Hulk got super strength from the gamma radiation. Well, the leader got a brain monster. So he looked like what was that?
In the brain?
No. The blue Megamind.
Oh, Megamind. Yeah.
He looks like a green version of Megamind. He looked like a green version of Megamind in the comics. So let's see how that goes. You know, with a big head.
Yeah.
His brain got really big. And, you know, the Hulk defeats him because, you know, his passion, whatever. But so I see we're leaning towards that. You know, they're bringing back some things from the older movies, but they're also drawing out new things that they're going to go with new products they've got coming out. So I'm really excited. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I am low key, not Loki, but low key invested in this because it's fun. It's just real lighthearted stuff. I'm not looking. You know, I mean, like I said, this is nice that they're breaking the fourth wall. Tatiana Maslany is engaging and captivating as always, and her you know, Mr. Immortal was hilarious.
Yes,
super good stuff in it. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was super cute. But here's the thing. They're stuffing so much in one episode. You got Mr. Immortal, and then you got the wedding drama, and then you got this follow-on case with the wrecking crew, maybe, and the suspense around that. And you got her trying to date. It's a lot.
It's a sitcom. I mean, they always push this much stuff into a sitcom episode.
It's kind of chaotic, though. But that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. And I see you, Mr. Immortal, with the 3 black wives. I see you, boo. I thought that was hilarious. But I was kind of like, is no one recruiting Mr. Immortal for the Avengers? I mean, he jumped out of a 20-story window It had no blood, no nothing, just shook off his the glass from the car and got off and ran off.
His only kryptonite is commitment.
I know.
Conflict, yes.
Obviously, he's a commitment phobe, so he won't be joining up with anybody. But it's that part was cute, but it's still like I just kind of want them to focus on 1 or 2 storylines, not 4. But it was still fun. It's still something everybody can watch. David, what did you think?
I like this episode the least of any She-Hulk episode thus far. That I appreciate that we're going for more comedy and breaking the fourth wall, and I've taken it as a lighthearted approach. You know, so but this episode in particular, I thought did a great disservice to the protagonist. We've talked about Titania as kind of a questionable villain, and she shows up just to be a pain at the wedding. You know, we see some things here. There's the early episodes dropped a level of truth, like how awful it is for a woman to get catcalled, or if she's standing alone and there's some men, sometimes it can be a scary thing in a dark neighborhood or whatever, and those kind of things, which are real messages people need to hear and see. Yeah. But at the same time, I thought this episode, with the cattiness of the wedding and being the bridesmaid and being kind of talked down about and wanting to be, oh, you don't have a man, so I'm going to mess with you, even though you're a superhero and you're an attorney and you run your division, your practice group. I thought in a way, and I'm putting it too seriously, I thought it kind of was patronizing to women. I thought it was insulting to women. You have got this amazing, talented heroine, and her villain just wants to make fun of how she dresses and slaps her around.
Yeah.
At this juncture, it's just, there should be more in my mind. It is jumbled with that. There's a lot of things going on. But I think at the end of the day, I think it's wasting an opportunity to really showcase a talented actress and a character that we can laugh with, but who could inspire a little bit more. So I'm a little critical of this episode this week.
Okay, those are some really good points. And I noticed one thing is, and I talked about this before, when you have these superhero movies featuring women, is sometimes they make the feminine villain, the villainess, kind of silly. And Titania, they've made her so silly and like, oh my God, I think she's like a Kardashian.
She's a Kardashian. Kind of. That's exactly what she is.
But they could do it a little more nuanced too. You know, I'd like to see her, if it was going to go that way, I would have rather see her be, you know, like the cut indirect, you know, and to be, you know, smart and a villain, not this kind of silly bubblehead villain. So I'm hoping they make her more serious. And I take your point, David. I think you're right on about some of the messaging in this episode kind of contradicted with some of the other ones. But I think they just wanted, as she said, a one-off kind of classic kind of wedding episode that a lot of sitcoms have. But it could have done without some of the sexist kind of messages that they have. But so it's a little mixed review, but still it's something the whole family can watch. It's fun and interesting, and just take it for what it is. and you won't be disappointed. So that is Just Jen. I feel like that's kind of how the whole episode is. Just Jen. With She-Hulk. Okay, up next. We're going to switch it up because it was another wedding on the House of the Dragon. Let's take a peek.
Upon my death, my throne and my titles will pass to her. Surely, Lord Corlys, you are not proposing the Targaryen dynasty end with my daughter simply because she is a woman.
You don't know me.
Sir Kristen. No, but we are both deeply invested in this union.
As we join together in celebration, tonight is only its beginning. We honor the Crown's oldest and fiercest ally, House Velaryon.
I want to go first. This was a great episode. I mean, it started off super wild. Was like, wait, what? And then you get to, this dude try to have a Hallmark moment. And it's like, what are you talking about? Where do you think you are? At what time? Trying to propose to a future queen to let's run away together and just live in a field somewhere and grow oranges. Like, dude. And then you have the coolest entrance of any fantasy movie or TV show. House Velaryon entering into the wedding venue, all like black skin and white hair and gold dripping. They were dripping, as the kids say. Hit. I mean, they were super fly in action, and but I think now, and Pat is going to talk to us about. He read the book, so he knows some of the things that were important triggers. Alicent and Rhaenyra's story then really diverges after this with House. I think it's a split now between, from what I understand, Team Green and Team Black. And then you got to pick sides about who you think is more. But I'm Team White. I'm Team Corlys Velaryon and House Velaryon. And Daemon, of course, once again, can redeem himself. But what does he do? The agent of chaos that he is, messes it up for himself again. So definitely, I enjoyed this episode a lot. Pat, what do you think so far?
Well, okay. I would never, ever go to a wedding in Westeros.
Right.
Historically,
not unless
on
I
film
had
at least
3 swords,
chain mail, plate mail, yeah, and a retinue of guards around me, perhaps, maybe, just maybe. Then, weddings just don't seem to be a real good time there. Wow, I mean, Daemon continues to be the most interesting man in the world. He is the guy who is making this story worth watching. He's the one that makes the narrative move forward. When you see him show up, shit's going to happen. I mean,
it's going to go left.
Well, I mean, he's the one. I mean, without him, it would be this plotting story. But he's the one that keeps throwing gear, rocks into the gears. He's the one that's making things happen. The triggers. He's the trigger of all the story moving forward. And I tell you what, Matt Smith is excellent, and he does so much with so little. Every single time he's on the screen, you can tell he's the veteran actor out of this group for sure. Yeah. And he's gotten them to write him some pretty good parts. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Overall the wedding and this you see. I hate to tell you this, Pam. If you think about the Game of Thrones series itself, did you hear everybody talking about House Velaryon? No, you sure didn't, but you did hear them talking about House Targaryen. So you know which one made it through this. Just FYI.
Well, I just like them for what I see right now.
I know.
That is in my rear view mirror.
At the moment,
it's dead to me.
They look like they got something going on, but it's not. Don't as with any George R. Martin property, you shouldn't get attached to anybody. Just FYI.
That's
That's
true.
all right, because they redeemed every black story in the world.
Dude,
in
that wedding,
Westeros.
and okay, the poor Kingsguard, man. I feel, all the people in the story, I feel bad for that guy.
Okay, no. Okay,
No, I
let's
do.
take this for a minute.
Well, let's go.
Come on now. You know what it is. You are having an affair with the future queen. Why would you think that she, after one time, maybe two, you think that your stuff is that good that she's about to give up the throne to run off to you to be poor? Come on now. That's totally silly and crazy. I felt sorry for him to be such a dumb, naive dude. That was dumb and naive.
That's a man.
She had the perfect plan, which was, hey man, look, me and my boy worked it out. You still gonna be with me. He gonna do what he gonna do. I'm gonna do what I do, and nothing's gonna change. So let's just keep it going. And I was like, this dude needs to be on Lifetime or Hallmark. I'll see him at Christmas time when we do our Christmas review movies. And it was so ridiculous to me. Come on, Pat. Holla back.
Is it my turn to rebut? I'm just checking.
Come on now. Come on, give it to me. And David, hop in too.
No, David's just going to sit this one out and just wait. He's
I really kind of agree with you, man. I got to be honest. I felt bad for him too. He was like the only noble person. After
he was a fool.
He was trying to. Okay, she seduced him from his. Yes. Do you not?
Yes.
Okay, I guess you must have missed that episode. I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't talk about it last week. But apparently, Pam missed that episode where she seduced him. She said, "Get your ass in here." Okay,
absolutely.
I've got
that's her.
Come on.
It is
daughter of Eve, man. Daughter of Eve. No. He would have stood at his post and not done a thing. She instigated that entire thing.
Oh, but he was a willing participant.
Oh, okay. So, whoa. If this was gender swapped, it'd be a different story.
No. Because they have been flirting and getting it together the whole time.
She is in a position of power over him the entire time.
That's right.
No different than Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, come on.
Or anybody else.
Bill and Monica. Bill and Monica.
No, it's just asphalt.
No.
If it was gender swapped, it'd be a different story.
No. I
felt sorry for him, and I still do.
It's the power construct, the lack of balance here. The power construct. I agree with Pat 100% on this. Yeah.
Okay, so
who would have thought it, man?
She should have run off with him.
No, I didn't say that.
She should have run off with him.
I felt sorry for him because he was put in an untenable position where his boss, the ruler of his nation, the person he has sworn to die for, is telling him, okay, I'm in love with you. You made me break my vow, and now you're telling me that I'm just to be your side piece.
Well, what do you expect? That was so immature and naive of him. Come on.
Oh, okay. So naivety gives her okay to do what she wants.
No, she tried to do something so they could still be together, but they couldn't. So that was it.
Remember this conversation.
I will.
I will too, because there'll be a time they're going to come back.
I feel like this dude was the most naive on the show, and I predict.
Well, that's why I feel sorry for him. He's
gonna get used again.
I felt sorry. That's why I feel sorry for him, because he is the most naive guy on the show. You don't feel sorry for the smart person who got screwed because they overthought it or whatever. You think for the person who's just caught up in this, the naive poor knight who got elevated at her because she chose him because he's kind of hot and he kind of had a little bit of experience. Okay, well, whatever. But
he's super hot.
At the same time, that's grooming, but whatever. So let's move on.
Well, it is.
It is.
Right.
Oh, come on. At any
So
point,
I do
he
feel
should've
sorry
said
for him, and I
no.
still do, and you're wrong.
Oh, that's terrible. David, what did you think of, besides that point, what did you think of the episode?
Marriage. Marriage is what
Oh,
brought us
God.
together.
Okay.
What I
Uh,
I'm really with I am definitely I am declining any invitation to a wedding there. It's scary. Doctor Who commanded a scene. He did not say a word. He's had 2 powerful scenes
Yep.
in this show where he says nothing. He is a complete man of action, gratuitous, violent action, but nonetheless violent action.
but
His wife is, his wife obviously was just like that moment we see her. What an amazing character she would have been if we would have seen more. I mean, you talk about bringing somebody in and then getting rid of them. That was amazing. The violence and the pure hatred that.
But do you think, David, that he acted at first? I didn't think he was planning on doing that. I didn't think he was really planning on doing it. I think he was just gonna taunt her, and they were gonna trade swords or whatever, word swords. And then she got to run in her mouth, and then he was like, "You know what? Let me just really take care of you." And then that's why I was like, man, sometimes watch your mouth. But do you think he was always planning to do that? Or do you think, go ahead, do you think it was a spur of the moment decision, or you think he was planning to do it?
I think he was planning it the whole time. I think he was planning it too. I mean, he comes back to the place. I mean, he clearly in his mind thought about having, in a previous episode, he told his brother, well, wed your daughter to me. Well, naturally, because, when you take your niece to a brothel, one does get married. I mean, that's just very common.
That just happens.
I think it's very much premeditated. She knows she knew her husband. She had this little conversation. He didn't have to say a word, and she knew exactly what he was going to do. It was very intense. The bashing in of that head, man.
But she didn't go out like a punk, though. She was like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
And here's the thing: she kept talking. He was going for the rock. He wasn't going to leave her. He was going for the rock anyway. This was intense. I think the most interesting thing here in the episode 4 or 5, whatever we're in, is we had this initial friendship. These 2 women were friends. And events have transpired to where the die is kind of cast in their roles, and they're going to have to fight each other, proxy or not, because the one girl's dad is right. She becomes queen. She's going to see your kids. There's going to be war. Your boys are going to have to be put to the sword, all that. I think that's a fascinating aspect. I don't find Stephen Toussaint, who plays Lord Bavarian, maybe notwithstanding in Doctor Who, I don't feel that there's the same gravitas and presence that most of the actors are bringing. The two women, the queen and the would-be queen, they just seem so young for this. And maybe that's just me being old. Maybe
that'll change next.
Next week.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it, and it does seem. Yeah. But that's a fascinating. Their relationship to me is the most fascinating piece. And outside of the knight who just bashed that poor man's face in, I'm not seeing too many sympathetic characters here.
Well, and I think that Allison and Rhaenyra, I'm gonna be honest, you sleep with my daddy, we not friends. So for one is, come on now, the father Otto set that up for them eventually to be rivals because his ambition is to get his family on the throne. And so he kind of sold his daughter to the king. He's now planning his grandson to be the king. So, that and I mean, he's doing some good maneuvering. I think he outplayed himself last week. But yeah, he set up this dynamic for them to now be mortal enemies, throughout the rest of the series. And really, I don't know, I haven't read the book, and Pat, well, don't tell us, but to set up that this will be a rivalry that takes almost probably may take the whole kingdom. It certainly will pit the kingdom against each other. So it's definitely a good, but it's more of a soap opera kind of drama. Then the next one, which is Rings of Power. Let's take a peek.
I swore an oath to Durin. I do not intend to let mine slip away on the basis of mere hope.
Hope is never mere.
There is a way. There must be.
We are doing now what you always believed we must. We're restoring our connection with the elves.
And when these people discover it, they will cast me out. So will you.
Sometimes to find the light, we must first touch the darkness.
Oh, I was trying to find out who the actor was who played the King of the Elves. I know him. He's really a great actor. Pat, tell us what you think. You're our resident Tolkien professor.
Oh my God, so much wrong with this episode. Oh my God. What kind of horse shit are we making up about Mithril being the thing that will save the elves' spirit? This is some made up. I mean, okay, it's all made up. Yes, I understand that. But this, you don't go against the made up that's already been made up. The canon. There's nothing about this. The Silmarils. And he's like, well, this is the Battle of the Silmaril over. And I was like, what kind of manure is this crap?
No.
The three Silmarils, there was three of them. One of them is on the father of Elrond right now, because Arendelle the Mariner took one of the three Silmarils to the Valar, which is why the Valar came and destroyed Morgoth. Arendelle went and pled the case of men and elves to the Valar, and that's how come. And they put him in the heavens as the morning star, Arendelle, and he's up there with the Silmaril on his head. That's one. The second one was thrown into the ocean by Maglar, one of the sons of Fëanor. The third one was cast into a volcano. This is canon. This bullshit about it was a tree that was fought over by a Balrog of Morgoth and some sort of magic dude. I was like, this is some crap. It was total crap. I hated every bit of that. I was like, this is...
Oh, jeez.
No, it was terrible. And, I'm like, in making Gil-galad... Okay, first off, I got a couple other questions. Where's Celegorm during all this? Galadriel has a husband. She's had a husband for a lot of years by this point. He's the king of Lothlorien, and she's the queen of Lothlorien eventually. Where is he at in this whole thing? She's out here, catting about with this southern possible king, and playing around in Numenor, which she never went to. But anyway, and again, where's the second kid of Arendelle, of Elendil?
Exactly.
You have Isildur. Where's Anorian, the other one? And they made a daughter up. Where'd that come from? I mean, I've got problems. Big problems.
Right here in River City.
Okay.
I mean, it's still okay. It's that being said, it's gorgeous still super gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about it, the cast. I think Gil-galad's not a good casting for what I pictured him as.
Which one was Gil-galad?
The king, the one you were just talking about, was a great actor.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Now I know what he was in, which is one of my all-time favorite movies.
He's not cast right for that part, reading the part. And this constant throwing in Elrond's face of his father, Kellen Brimbor, saying, "I remember when your father said to me," I'm like, get the hell out of here with that weak ass shit. Trying to make him believe that, and this super tight relationship between Durin the Third and Elrond, not supported anywhere. I mean, there's enough good story without them making up shit. Just stick to the main points. Don't feel like you need to rewrite Tolkien. Tolkien wrote plenty of great Tolkien. You don't need to make new Tolkien. You can't, because he's dead. His son's dead. It's his grandkids at this point. There ain't nobody left. You're just 3 generations out, and these grandkids probably don't even remember the grandpa. To be honest, they're so damn young.
Man, all right, that's it for Pat's Corner. Have your own show on Amazon Prime, like to immediately follow this show, and it could be called Into the Shire with Pat, because I think, man, you can put it back on track. For those of us,
they didn't call me.
Anyway, brother, I just go. But I would love to have Pat as like the after show for this thing on Amazon Prime. He can get himself a contract, baby. That's for sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay, David, please take. Oh no, let me speak so it can be. No, go, David, because I know David's struggling.
These people are put so much into their stories, and they're serious, and their costumes, and all I can do is go to sleep. I just can't stand it.
Terrible.
It's terrible. I watched the other movies. I've read some of the books. I can't get into this show. That long monologue with the boat, I got lost there. I write you guys every week and say, this is the week I'm really going to get into it. And I can't. It's the end of the fiscal year, and I can't put my mind around this. It's so bad.
No, okay.
It's terrible.
All right. So I enjoyed this week's episode to go on a higher note. I thought the sword playing scene was really fun. It kind of gave a little more lightness to the series. The story with the Harfoot and the stranger, that's kind of like, come on now. I'm getting a little, that's got to move along. But the scenes with Durin and Elrond, I really enjoyed them. And I really enjoyed. So what? I really enjoyed the interaction between the two and the actors. I really enjoyed that. And the king was none other than Abraham Lincoln, vampire hunter. I love that dude. I love that's one of my all-time favorites. Go watch it. I love it. Okay. But I thought I was kind of like, huh? How does Mithril come from this ore? And now
it doesn't.
The light of the elves,
making shit up about made up shit.
Well, I don't know all that, Pat, and so I think that you have to allow people to watch it for what it is. It's not the same as that. It's something different. It's something new as its own. I feel like so far it's a success as a fantasy tale, but it's drawing from these very slim threads. But I don't know all of the story, so I'm able to enjoy it, and I think that's fair. And of course, this week you saw some gorgeous images. And it's interesting with the dark elf. I don't know, or he's like the one who were making these orcs or something. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm interested. I'm interested in that guy because I think he's an interesting kind of character. So I'm looking to see where they go with a couple of the storylines. Some of the other ones, I'm like, they could wrap that up, and that could be that. Just reveal that the stranger is Gandalf, and then we'll all be okay. So I definitely think it's still something the whole family can watch. and that they can enjoy. So if you are a Tolkien PhD student like this one is, you might have some trouble with it, but as a fantasy story, you might enjoy it. So it's a mixed review, so check it out for yourself. All right, so that brings us to the end of our show. And Pat's Corner got a little long, but next week we're going to do the same thing. And we are going to do a trailer reaction of Bramaster Part 1.
Master, I can't wait.
Bramaster,
because I am all about that. Let's watch that.
I don't know, but it's a huge Indian, South Asian movie coming out and premiering in theaters. So we're going to do a trailer reaction to see what it's like. See if it's something maybe we go see. I don't know. I'm enjoying these kind of movies. So if this one is like RRR, I will be 100% for it. So definitely come back next week. Hey, Pat, welcome back. You show built it up and had a lot to say. So why don't you say goodnight to the people?
I would also like to say Rock Chalk Jayhawk to all the KU people. 4-0, baby. 4-0. First time in over a decade we started out this year. We actually have a football team this year, boys. I might actually have to buy a ticket and walk the 2 miles to the stadium.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk KU. All right, David.
Well, so long, everybody. We look forward to coming back with some more Andor and some of the controversial takes that has made this show one of the more entertaining episodes that we've had. So come back and stay with us next time.
Yeah, a whole lot of wrongness. Y'all gonna check out with some of these takes. But we'll see you next time. Take care. See you next week. Bye.
So long, everybody.